Thanks for staying with us. The Federal Inland Revenue Service is currently seeking the approval of the National Assembly to further amend the Finance Act for the purpose of dragging online businesses on the social media to its tax net. Should social media usage be taxed? You can join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. And joining us to discuss this topic as our guest co-host for today is Jumoke Odetola. How you doing, girl?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what's up? What's been happening to you?
So many things, beautiful things.
How's business? How's acting?
Great. We're
Everything
pushing
is
it.
good. Yeah. So are you ready? You ready
Yeah,
to join
I'm
the
good.
conversation? So we know that a lot of people have, struggled to make it, make a living. And when social media came, it was like, wow, finally, I can afford to be on I just need my data. I just need to have a phone, a good phone. I just need to snap good pictures, and I can do my business online. And now, the federal government is planning to chook eye inside our matter. Please, ladies, help me. What do you think about this?
With our Minister for Finance and Budget and National Planning all the time saying that we can borrow, is not our ability to borrow that's a problem. It's about how we generate revenue. I expected this. I was not surprised, yes, that this was coming. I know they'll be looking for more avenues to raise money, to raise funds to either service loans or pay back the ones that they have borrowed so far. But Nigerians are not people who really love to pay taxes. Nobody. Nigerians, some people in some environments where you go abroad, they're used to it. Yeah. They make a budget for it. They are ready that these deductions will come out of their whatever they earn weekly or monthly. They're not bothered about it. But we see NEPA at our door. We have used light to. We say, I want to cut my wire. If we see water corporation, why should I pay for water? It's not free that God gave us. If you see anything, Nigerians love to get their things free, and that has largely affected how we do things. And this also is how the big man, who has all the money, thinks. So a big Nigerian who should be on the tax net, who certainly should be, will get the waivers, would get the tax moratorium, whatever they need to do to even shorten the tax. So it's not about how much taxes that should be collected by the government. I think it's about ensuring that this paddy, me and you, that they're doing within government stops. What we are getting so far is not what we should be getting. You have some big names. Government projects national plans of somebody's business, private business. So that person, of course, enjoys, he becomes the glorified child or prince of the government. He enjoys business waivers, import waivers, enjoys taxes, exemptions, and all of this continue to reduce what we get. Is it the people who have not been able to provide certain amenities for that we're taxing? People who can afford to get on the health insurance scheme as cheap as it is. People whose yearly income cannot, no matter what they do. So when you go to the markets and they already pay on capture taxes. We just took the EcoMog boys now collecting money, to pass people. So with no taxes, everyday people pay taxes, but rather than do the right thing, remove the paddy and capture the tax that should be for government. Yeah.
So what are you saying? I want to get you. Are you saying that social media should be taxed?
Social media should be taxed. But before it is taxed, don't we have other places that we should correct?
Got that.
All right. Yeah. So for me as well, I understand the need for taxes. I mean, theoretically, we know what is meant to do. And in countries that work, we see how the taxes reflect in the amenities that people have to, amenities and facilities that are available to the people to use. But our story here, where people would say, well, we pay taxes. Well, my road is still bad. I still do not have light. I still do not get water. I still do my own water. I still come together as an estate, put monies together, and we make the road better. So why am I paying taxes when I do not see how it's being used? But concerning social media, the social media has become a platform for so many people who otherwise would have been unemployed or do not have any form of making money. That social media came, and then all of a sudden we have we have a huge number of people who are earning money, doing business, who have even moved their socioeconomic status, you know, from really bad to a lot better. Many people are earning money in such a way that they are comfortable now, you know, and that's all through social media. And I feel that government should encourage this more. You know, we had someone yesterday from the Lagos Employment Trust Fund, and they're saying how they're always seeking to get more people to do jobs. And she talked about digital marketing, and that is the social media we're talking about. Yeah. And I feel that it's still also very new. And when you look at the numbers of the sort of people that are on social media doing business, they're quite young people. Students are on there. Housewives who haven't been to, you know, haven't pursued their career in a long time. People who have like a side hustle. You know, everyone is on there. So before we tax this, let's give them some time. Let's give people some time to get in there and make businesses. Let also the government use the opportunity to improve and encourage entrepreneurship that we're trying to do. And that's the platform. But once you start to tax it now, I think it would be, you know, it would, the government would sort of stop the good that's already coming from there. Many people would want to withdraw from using that and find different means. But for now, I think we should leave social media. And as Nima said, there are just so many other avenues that we can push and capture our taxes better, because we're not even doing that right now.
I got you, Miriam. Chumake, what's your thought on this?
Okay, my thought on this is tax is a basic responsibility of the citizens, like they have rightly said. But then, when we are looking at the social media, yeah, social media is used for business. It's a creative space. It's also an avenue to showcase ourselves to the world. I would say a lot of youth have done so well for themselves on that platform. And also they've been able to project the image of the country to people who may not have seen them. Just like the case of Emanuela. Yeah. She was a young girl. True. If that platform was being taxed at that time, I don't think she would have been able to explore that opportunity. The Ikorodu boys too. These are people who have done so well in showcasing Nigeria to the world on a positive light, which is what we are advocating for. Which is also because we see a lot of bad news about the country. We see people talking about this, talking about that in the country. But with people like this, have been able to use this platform rightly.
Shouldn't we encourage them?
Yes, they are doing the country proud. They are putting the name of the country on a global map, which is more of what we should encourage. These are people who didn't grow up in. They are making money now. They are doing well for themselves now. That young girl built a home for her parents. Yes. You understand? They are doing well for themselves now. But if we introduce the tax system, it would discourage a lot of young talent. It would discourage creativity. Maybe if we have to do that, maybe we can start with companies, multinational companies.
Rich people.
Because they have that platform. It's also a form of advert for them. So maybe we should exclude the individuals for now, yes, and just focus on the...
I agree with you. Nima, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still discussing if social media should be taxed. And there's this line of thought that says the federal government did not provide these platforms. Why are they interested in taxing the platforms they did not provide? The platforms were provided by other individuals who saw the markets in our country and decided to bring what they had here because they knew that Nigerians would take hold of it and do something. And the intention of the platforms, I don't even think it was necessarily for business initially, but we just found a way to, we can sell anything in this part of the world. Now, why does the government want to impose on something it had no intentions of creating for Nigerians originally?
It doesn't matter. The truth is that these platforms have become billionaires just by the numbers and the market they see here. And in their wisdom, they didn't think to have a headquarter here so that they will employ the people that government is already bought in to try to create employment for. So everybody is on that platform creating employment for themselves. I think those platforms should be made, in some way to show responsibility here. Because if they situate their headquarters in any other country, but they make money here, they'll pay taxes where they exist. They pay their land use charges, they'll pay everything that comes with the land, and other forms of taxes that can get them where they went to situate. But their market is here. So for everybody who does that, now one day, some car companies have taken their assemblage companies to the country in question again.
Ghana.
We're losing employment for our own large number, but the market in every of these companies in West Africa is in Nigeria.
Isn't that our fault because of our policies?
Not just because of that. Because if some companies exist here and they make it work, those companies in question can make it work. But you see most of these companies, their first excuse is Nigerians are corrupt. But these are the numbers that you're working with.
Exactly.
So I don't even want to hold brief for them.
Yeah.
I think government should find a way tax them.
But if I hear you correctly, and I think Jumoke said the same thing as well, the government should focus on taxing the companies and the creators of these platforms, and not the individuals that like us that latch onto the platform.
Eventually, those individuals Jumoke mentioned, which was what I wanted to say, even though I agree with her exemption, it will work for startups when you're just coming in. So they give you a period to grow. Not when your numbers are amazingly outrageous and the government is still saying you're an individual. You then have money to give back to government. This is my argument. Don't take from the tax the poor and exempt the already rich. Tax is supposed to be take from the rich and create amenities so that the poor, there'll be equity or a balance of wealth in society. That's what's supposed to be. But the way we do it here, we further impoverish certain groups of people and further enrich certain groups of people. It shouldn't work like that. The wealth of the rich should find a way to create platforms for the poor and balance of wealth within society. It will curb traffic robbery, the type that Papa is witnessing now. It will curb, door to door. It will curb a lot of things. People will then have dignity in the way they live. All these all these things will reduce.
I really wish you can get our callers to join in on the conversation. Let's hear their thoughts.
So I agree with Nima, and I agree with her completely, really. But also, I think we should realize that there's a reason why sometimes the rich, as you say, and the large companies are giving waivers. It's so that they're encouraged to do more business and employ those that we say are the poor. So we need to create an enabling environment for industries, and so that's why they get those waivers. And it's not forever, there are periods in which they are allowed to do that. But as for those who use these platforms now, going back to the social media tax, we already as individuals pay taxes in different ways. We heard about the 7.5 VAT that just happened in so many ways when we are consuming in other ways. So I really do not feel that taxing us on social media is the best way to go. It's almost like double taxing and overtaxing.
Multiple taxation.
So yeah, so we should just, we should put that aside. It is important truly to have these platforms themselves, the Twitters, the Instagram, for government to create policies in such a way that they are taxed, in such a way that they provide employment also for the places in which that they carry out. Because if we're not that important, you could just say, we're shutting down our services or whatever it is here in Nigeria, but you don't do that. Yes, you acknowledge how much we contribute. And in doing so, I think there has to be a form of give back. And government now has to have like a collaborative policy or something that they give back through taxes or some other way. Yeah.
Let's take this call from Benga from Ilupeju. Good morning, Benga.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, you're live.
Yes. First of all, I want to appreciate you guys for what you are doing. This is my first time calling into the program.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. I don't know why we youth of these days we tend to take what our leaders say. First of all, the FIRS that say they want to start taxing social media. The one that is not social media, how many of them have they been able to get to? I want to encourage the youth of these days not to be disturbed with what our leaders are saying about social media. They can't even get it. They don't even have what it takes to monitor what is on social media.
Wow.
Now they say they want to tax it.
Wow.
Is it not what you have that you can give?
Ew.
Leaders that don't really have what it takes. They can't even brag on the internet. Can they even do business on the internet? Now they say they want to monitor and start taxing. How is that possible? You don't give what you don't have. So youth, I will encourage us not to bother me.
Thank you, Benga, for that. They say the government does not even have what it takes to monitor. But let me even ask this question. With everything we are going through right now as a country, is this the right time to even be thinking about taxing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Talking about that, I think timing is also essential in implementing or bringing out some policies like this. This is not the right timing. This is not what people want to hear. People want a case where their needs are being met. They want some kind of discussions to come into place. So when you're saying this, it's just like you're not giving us, you are not satisfying our needs. You just want to take from us.
And keep
so
taking.
It brings a kind of aggression. It brings a kind of reaction like, do you hate us? So I think timing is also very important in addressing this. Yes. This is not the right timing at all. It's even if this would ever come up, the timing is completely wrong.
Will there ever be a right time?
There's something the last caller mentioned that government does not have the means to monitor. I think I'd like to agree with him, because if government, to catch a thief, you have to be a thief, think like a thief, or don't be a thief, but think like one. You know, so we have stockbrokers helping businesses cut down what they pay to government every year. If I want to get a tax waiver, I donate a building, maybe about 50 million, when my tax is about 500 million. A tax stockbroker, tax whatever, consultant helps me, finds a way to make it.
Pushing it,
and eventually, I just pay 50 million for 500 million. Then the FIRS is busy every day sitting at a tank table when they should have a unit like the EFCC within the police.
To fish out those people
auditing,
who cut corners.
Property, cost of building, cost of, auditing prices and saying this is the value of what you have built. And based on this is how much waiver you have. And do not, even if you want to give a little percentage, but not everything. That wide gap happens to big businesses, big names that we are politically exposed persons, all the time in the country. So the poor man who cannot access even the primary health care center in his place, if he does, they have unavailable drug.
Yes.
He has to buy, he doesn't have the means to buy it. Yeah. He's wondering, why are people coming to my door for anything?
Let's take this call from Christopher from the UK. Christopher, good morning.
Yes, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're live. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to contribute to what you guys are saying now. According to, I think I will go with what Lima has been saying earlier on. You see, the federal government needs to start with the big guys in Nigeria, with the big companies. Start taxing them rather than focusing on the social media. Let's say, for instance, now the Ikorodu guys, they are not registered. They are just showcasing their talent on social media, and somehow they got rewarded. So are they not saying, federal government, are they not saying that from the reward they receive now, they should pay tax from that? I don't see any reason there, because social media is a different space. You see, before YouTube will operate in Nigeria, before Google will operate in Nigeria, these people, they are already paying tax on behalf of every Nigerian that are using that platform. They are already paying tax to federal government. So now for federal government now to just wake up one morning and say, want to start taxing people on social media, that is totally wrong. Because I think this is a way of shutting Nigerians out of social media. It is not about the tax. It is just a way of shutting them out of social media because they feel Nigerians are using the social media now to attack the federal government. So it doesn't make sense. In the UK where we are now, you can't say somebody who is on Instagram, who is doing his or her own thing, then you expect that person to pay tax. For what? Is that person registered? It doesn't have a
registered business. Thank you so much, Christopher.
Yeah, okay, so for me, what he said, that it may just be government's way of shutting Nigerians out of social media. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I just think it's a matter of almost laziness. Like, what is the easiest? What are the like low-hanging fruit taxes that we can get? So like, what's the easiest one that we can get? So instead of putting in the work of making sure, because that is the one that is most there's most tasking. That you ask maybe those who are the big companies, people who are making a lot of money, people with influence, who are not paying their taxes, but because they know somebody who knows somebody who can affect your job or something, all those relationships that affect people to do their, to do their bit. So you're afraid to pursue those people. So you look for low-hanging fruits. Who are the most vulnerable? Who are the easiest to bully? And that is what I feel this is mostly about, not really about shutting people out of social media. And we need to do things a little differently. I think many, I was just looking at the countries who already have social media tax, and they're mostly African countries, East African countries. One of the things that they said is that some of them took the time to sit with stakeholders. It was a process. So we hope that this conversation on social media tax is just the beginning of the process. So we sit down with stakeholders, we have a conversation, and then maybe we look at who, what particular demographic of this social media businesses we're going to tax. Just like Jumoke said, there are few companies who also use these platforms to do their businesses. Maybe those particular ones can be taxed. And then what percentage of their business would be taxed? Is it something that is minimal, that doesn't really take away so much from their businesses? So if all those conversations is had, it will be easier for Nigerians, to
Thank you so much, Marian. Let's take this call from Peace. Peace from Ilukbeju. Good morning.
Good morning, Activies. Thank you very much for all that you are doing.
Thank God.
All I'm saying is that this government is just out to inflict pain on the poor masses. That is what they are doing. How can you come and be taxing social media again? The little place that the poor man is surviving from, they want to come and collect from here too, without providing anything for them. The schools are bad, hospitals are bad, everything is. The little one they are eating from, you want to come and take from them. They have failed us, and there should be no tax on social media. It's uncalled for. It's wickedness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peace. I really hope that before it's passed into law, you know how we do our things sometimes, before it's passed into law, that we have a public hearing where all of the stakeholders will come together. Let's table issues. Explain to us exactly why you want to tax, how you want to start. Let's have a breakdown of how you. And if it makes sense to Nigerians, I was okay, this can fly as a law. It's for the betterment of, it's the greater good, which is most important. Yeah. But let's take a break now. When we come back, we continue on other stories. Stay with us.